Hello. Hola. Buonasera. Buenas noches. Oh, buenas noches. And bienvenido to Lewinsville Presbyterian for our opening Holy Happy Hour concert of the program year. This, I think, is our third or fourth year. I cannot believe how many years I've been here so far. It's been a great initiative from our Lewinsville Music Fund and Music Program to bring arts into the Tysons and McLean community and hopefully escape the commute. And it seems like post-pandemic, the commute has definitely come back. This year, we have a new feature. We have partnered with the local wine shop, the Vienna Wittner, and you can see in the program some notes about the themed wine pairing for tonight. And as it is Hispanic Heritage Month, it is such a great pleasure to have Jose Benjamin Escobar, a Venezuelan American pianist, educator, performer, composer, here today. And our wines will also be from South America. A fun fact, Jose and I both went to James Madison High School in Vienna. And when I was in my grad school at Eastman, one day I'm just walking around and I say, hey, Jose, did you go to Madison High School? And he says, I did, with Miss Rowan, who is the choral director there. And it was a lot of fun. He was also at Eastman, and I had a great privilege to get to drive back from Eastman many times with him, which is a lot of fun. And he's just a fabulous musician and currently lives in the Brooklyn, New York area. And so please give a warm welcome for Jose.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Thank you so much for coming. Like John said, I'm really excited to be back here in Vienna. I grew up here, well, we're in McLean, but in Nova. I grew up here, and I'm really glad that I'm going to be able to share some music with you. Since the last time that I was in town, a lot of things have changed for me. I grew up as a classical musician, but then when I was in college, as you can read in my bio, I started improvising. I started studying Latin rhythms, Afro-Cuban rhythms, Afro-Venezuelan rhythms, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But today, I'm going to be playing some music that I've written, a few original pieces, a bolero that I wrote. And this first piece is called Silencio, which translates to silence. And it's more literally about the silent treatment. Does anyone know what the silent treatment is or has suffered from it? It's basically when you want someone to call you, but they won't call you back, And it's kind of hurtful, right? You feel a little left out, a little scorned. So I think you'll feel that. Anyway, here's Silencio. Whoa. So that's the silent treatment. Anyway. This next piece that I wrote, I actually, I chose to put it in the program because I won an award for it recently. Not to brag, but I wrote it for a movie that, for a fashion brand that actually, also to brag, was featured in Vogue today. Does anyone here subscribe to Vogue? I don't, but if you do, maybe you can cut out the article and you can share it with me because I'd love to see it. But basically, this fashion brand asked me to do the music to a movie that he did, and in this scene, it's kind of sad. In this scene, a love interest, it's a relationship, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and he's telling her a really, really heartbreaking story about one time when he was a younger kid, when he was like a teen, and he went into his grandmother's house. He didn't live with his grandma, but he went into her house when she wasn't there. And someone called the cops on him, unfortunately. And the cops came, they broke in, they arrested him, they tried to rough him up. And it was a really scary situation for him. It was a true story. The director of the movie had actually been through something like that. But unfortunately, that's not something that I can necessarily relate to. I mean, that's not something that has happened to me. But he did tell this story about something called the ant theory, which is, has anyone here ever killed an ant before? I mean, you know, we're all guilty. But the reason, and some scientists say that the reason why we get away with that, why we feel okay with taking that life, is because it's kind of getting in our way. It's ruining our peace, right? So a lot of people in like the black community and marginalized communities, they really relate to that idea of ant theory, of why they can get squashed, you know, why society lets people squash them. So this next piece is called Ant Theory, and it's a stripped down version of that song. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now this next piece, I'm gonna pick it up a little bit, okay? So this next piece is a really classic Cuban standard. It's called La Negra Tomasa, okay? It's also called Bilongo in some circles. And I think in Mexico it has a different name entirely. But essentially what the man who's singing is saying, I'm really in love with this woman, she cooks so good. You know? She's really good. And I'm sure that's not the only thing that she does really well, but it's all about love. It's all about talking about that. And it's all about, it's a really classic old tune. It's something that everyone can get behind. And I'm going to sing a little bit towards the end. But one thing I wanted to practice this. I don't know if you guys will be able to try this with me, but I'd like to try playing the clave with everybody. Does everyone here know what the clave is? Okay, so let's talk about that. So one of the coolest things about music that comes from Africa, especially like Western Africa, Nigeria, the Congo and everything, is that it derives from a rhythmic nomenclature called the clave, okay? And there's two versions of it, but it's really just the same thing switched. So if everyone could try clapping with me, it's really simple. It just goes like this. Ga, 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 ga. Yeah. Good job. Okay, so if you guys keep that up, keep it up. See, that's salsa. There we go. Okay, so that's a clave. All right, now I might point at you at one time to try that with me. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to sing a little bit on this one too, if that's okay. All right, so here we go. La Negra Tomasa. Kikiriu, maninga kikiriu, maninga kikiriu, maninga kikiriu, maninga. All right, so you guys ready? Let's try this clave thing, okay? Ready? You gotta follow me. All right, here we go. 1, 2, and ba 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 ba. There we go. Quereo, maninga que quereo, maninga que quereo, maninga que quereo, maninga, oye maninga. Woo! And we're gonna cut out and thank you. estoy tan enamorado de la negrita Tomasa, que cuando se va de casa, pero qué triste me pongo. Hoy estoy tan enamorado de la negrita Tomasa, que cuando se va de casa, pero qué triste me pongo. Ay, ay, ay. Esa negra linda cámara que me dio bilongo. Óyeme, esa negra santa cámara que me dio bilongo. No más que me gusta la comida que ella cocina, que no más que me gusta la café que ella me cuela. Oye, te digo, no más que me gusta la comida que ella cocina, que no más que me gusta la café que ella me cuela. Ay, ay, ay. Esa negra linda cámara que me dio bilongo. Óyeme, esa negra santa cámara que me dio bilongo. Kikiribu, mandinga kikiribu, mandinga kikiribu, mandinga kikiribu, mandinga kikiribu, mandinga. Ay, qué rico está esta guaracha, que te quiero ver gozando conmigo. Esta rumba buena, aquí estamos aquí gozando. Aquí en Lewinsville, oye, mira mi tumbado que te voy a dejar aquí. Que queremos mantenga. Thank you. All right, now let's slow it back down for a second. Just for a second, not for too long. So, that's salsa, right? But now we're going to go down the coast of South America, all the way down to Argentina. I see that you guys are actually going to have Argentinian Mass in a few months, right? Ah, wow, que nota, que bello. I think that's really cool. I'd love to actually hear it. Maybe I'll come back down. Pero, this next piece is by Alberto Ginastera. And it's called Danza de la Moza Donosa, okay? So just imagine a lovely young woman dancing, okay? And, you know, I think you'll be able to feel it's pretty passionate, it's pretty beautiful. It's got this lilting rhythm. Just kind of drags throughout, I mean, not drags, but it just kind of takes you through the whole piece, right? It'll probably sound really cool on the guitar, but I'm a piano player, so we're gonna make this work, all right? So, Ginastera Danza de la Moza Donosa. Beautiful piece, right? Really gorgeous. He was good at what he did. What's next on the program? Contigo en la distancia, right? Okay, cool. So this next song is one of my favorite songs of all time. And probably my grandma's too, and my mom's, I don't know. But it's another Cuban classic. This is a bolero. So kind of the same way that like swing is fast and like a ballad is slow, right? Salsa is fast and bolero means slow. It's not like totally accurate, but it gives you a pretty clear idea. So bolero is a nice little slow tune, and it's by this guy named César Portillo de la Luz, who wrote so many beautiful and songs that have become now standards in Latin music. So this next tune is called Contigo en la Distancia, and it means with you in the distance, okay? There is no beautiful melody if you're not there. There is no beautiful light in the world unless you're there. And with you in the distance, my heart will always be. So that's what he's saying. Thank you. bella melodía en que no surjas tú, ni yo quiero escucharla, si no la escuchas tú, es que te has convertido en parte de mi alma, ya nada me conforma si no estás tú también. más allá de tus labios, del sol y las estrellas, contigo en la distancia, amada mía. Pretty little song. Pretty little song. So, that's With You in the Distance, okay? So again, my heart will forever be with you, forever and forever and forever, okay? Now this next song is a joropo. Has anyone here ever been to Venezuela? Ooh, you have? Cool. Did you ever get a chance to see joropo be played live? So joropo is another folkloric dance, lots of folk music here, but it's from Venezuela. And unlike bolero music or salsa music, it's not in 4, it's actually in 3, okay? And it's very fast. A lot of folk music can be kind of slow, but this one is very fast, it's very intense. And you'll see it in my left hand, it gets very tired after a while, but basically there's just this rhythmic pattern, which I'd want you to imagine is the bass, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then there's dancers, and they dance, and basically there's 2 steps on beats 2 and 3, and they do this. You know, but they're much better at dancing, but they're like doing all these dances, like they're jumping and they're stomping, and it's kind of like a cockfight. Okay, it's basically 2 people fighting, right? And then there's also partner dances, and it's beautiful, and it's some of the most exciting music I've ever seen, I've ever heard. To be quite honest with you, it's not something that I'm all too familiar with. It's something that I'm starting to really figure out more and more. And even though I'm from Venezuela, this is something that they play in Los Llanos, which means the valley. Okay, the great big valley in between all the mountains. And that's where all the people with like the sombreros and things and the cuatro, they're playing. And this is joropo. So this is a piece by Moisés Moleiro, who is a Venezuelan composer, and it's called joropo. Here we go. Wish me luck. That one's tough. Another left hand burner. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate all your time. My name is Jose Escobar. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much to my family for being here. Hola, hola, ¿cómo está? Thank you so much to John for having me. Really, really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or if you have any grandkids in New York and you want to show them, like, hey, go check out that guy, he's playing at that place, come talk to me. I'm a really friendly person. So thank you so much, and I really hope to be here again one day. Thank you.
Jose, many thanks for your incredible playing. It was so wonderful. And also, many thanks to you all for being here this evening. I want to give a special shout out to all our volunteers, our AV team, John and Rob, not easy, especially live streaming, to all our friends online, and to all our volunteers, our setup team, our hospitality team, and many others. I also want to have a special note. A key leader of our Holy Happy Hour team is Sally McEwen, and yesterday we heard the news that her beloved husband, Mike, passed away peacefully. The family was all there, so please keep Sally and the McEwen and Trout family in your prayers this evening and ahead. And also, I want to say, for some of you, is this your first time at Louisville? Yeah, great. Well, if it is, we have a concert mailing list. Feel free to sign up as you leave. Now we head to our happy hour, or is this the happy hour? I forget. But now, as well, Louisville's 175th year. We finished up this beautiful renovation. We have a wonderfully renovated St. Andrew's Hall, so please feel free to join us for wine and cocktail, cheese and much more. And as well, if you'd like to contribute, these concerts are self-sustaining, and as you leave, there's a little donation box. So thank you. Many thanks again. And salud. Salud. Great, you guys.